Hi students. So today we are going to see biological importance of calcium and magnesium. See, in the alkaline earth metals, these two metals are very important, or they are takes place here important role in biological reactions. See, if you take a adult man, he may having 25 gram of magnesium. Adult man, 1002 gram of calcium. So this 25 gram of magnesium doing many work in our body. Listen carefully. First thing, the magnesium plays important role. What are the important role? One is which induce or which is helped for the catalyzed enzyme. In the enzyme, as a catalyzed enzymes is worked out because of magnesium presence. And also the phosphate adenine, see ATP in phosphate group, see as a cofactor in the enzyme which helps utilize the ATP in phosphate. How they are making or utilizing the ATP in phosphate? By releasing or transferring energy. Transfer and releasing energy. For transferring and releasing energy in the ATP in phosphate utilized by as a cofactor enzyme as a magnesium. And then in the DNA synthesis, the DNA synthesis, if you want to produce DNA, we need this magnesium. And also stabilization, stability and the function, how in the functions of DNA, magnesium plays a important role. See here, suppose balancing of electrolyte, the charge balancing electrolyte, all these uses done by magnesium, right? Okay, suppose we have the deficiency of magnesium. What will happen? Deficiency of magnesium will make the disease like convulsion. What do you mean convulsion? We can say in Tamil, valipu, convulsion. And also neuromuscular irritation. Neuromuscular irritation, like disease will cause if the deficiency of magnesium. So this, other than that, in the plant, if you compare with the plants, magnesium is present in important pigment in the photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis reaction? Carbon dioxide, water with chlorophyll. Chlorophyll pigment is the important role in the photosynthesis process. The chlorophyll pigment having magnesium. So plants chlorophyll, in animals which plays several uses, right? Calcium which is present in blood and also teeth, bones, which is used to strengthen the teeth and bones. In the blood we need some amount of calcium. That quantity of calcium in the blood, calcium is maintained by two glands or two things. One is two hormones, that is calcitonin, and the another one is thyroid, parathyroid. Blood calcium quantity is maintained in the blood by these two enzymes. And then what are the deficiency of calcium? Suppose deficient of calcium, what type of disease will produce in our body, right? See, deficiency of calcium will make long time to clot blood. Blood clotting will not take place easily. So because of heavy blood loss, we may have the problem. So all this because of deficiency of calcium. So we have finished our 5th unit. Now we are going to start with the next unit, unit 5, gaseous state. Next lesson, gaseous state. See, in the gaseous state, what are the things we are going to learn? See, gaseous state. So in the gaseous state, we are going to learn the physical properties of gas. What are the physical properties of gas? Particularly we can say pressure, volume, in the applying the temperature or increasing or decreasing the temperature or effect of temperature, how they are reacting, all those things we are going to learn. Okay, right? So in the introduction part of it, we know we can live few weeks without food, we can live without water few days, but without gas we cannot live even few minutes. So that is the problem, right? So that importance having this gaseous particles, right? So when we are inhaling, we are inhaling excess amount of air, whatever we need, that oxygen are absorbed in the lungs, remaining mixtures are exhaled, right? And also if you see the gaseous things, based on their states or chemical behavior, based on their chemical behavior, how they will chemically behavior depending upon their composition, right? So depending upon the composition only they will react in the chemical properties. Physical state, we know that it may produce that pressure, volume, depending upon the temperature it may change, right? Then in this lesson we are going to particularly learn about the physical properties of gases, pressure, volume, and on addition of temperature, how the pressure temperature will change. We know very well in the earth how much percentage of air, in that air we know that subdivisions, in the whole air 78% we have nitrogen gas, 21% we have oxygen, remaining 1% other gases, right? In this percentage we may ask what are the gases or in the elements form. See, this we know nitrogen, oxygen, okay, other gases we don't know. So together only 11 gases present as a elements, or we can say atoms or elements as a molecule. So without combining with the other gas or other element, as a pure state only 11 gases are present as a elements. What are they? We know very well what oxygen, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. Yes, the halogen compound chlorine, fluorine, and then all the inert gases helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. See these 11, yes, these 11 only exist as a nature, as a free gas. That means which is not mixed with any other element, but as a compound. In the compound formation, we have many gases. What are they? Some examples you will see: carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and then nitrogen dioxide, nitric oxide. Like we have several compounds, right? Only element formation or molecule formation without combined with other element, they are only 11, right? So here we are going to learn the physical properties of gas is state based on the gas law. So we have two laws. One is Charles law, another one is Boyle's law. First we are going to learn about Boyle's law. In the both gas law only explains about pressure and volume, right? But before entering into the gas law, we must know the important parameters of gas, that is nothing but pressure. See, what is pressure? What is the definition for pressure? Simply we can explain based on this formula or equation. Pressure is equal to or force divided by area. Force divided by area only called pressure. So pressure, simply you can explain, pressure can be defined as the force divided by area. Now what is the unit of this pressure? Usually we will call it Pascal. The unit of pressure is Pascal, but we have some other unit also. Now we will learn what is Pascal, how you define 1 Pascal. The force acting, force also we can measure with Newton. So 1 Newton per square meter. So in a square meter, how much force? 1 Newton force per square meter only calculate as a 1 Pascal. So we have the another unit, Newton meter inverse. So Pascal, or you can use Newton meter inverse also. Not only this, we have many symbols, units. What are they? Pascal, simply we can write PA. Then atmosphere, very important, ATM, atmosphere. Then bar, BAR, bar. Then tor, the same way, C or psi, P silent. Like we have many formulas, many units we have to measure the gas, right? So the relation you have to learn properly. It is given clear in the table. Then next we are going to learn one of the gas law, that is Boyle's law. What is Boyle's law? See, before entering into the Boyle's law, he made it a schematic diagram, or he made a experiment by using like this tube. So in that he has taken mercury. So one more we will take it. So A structure, B structure, right? We have to fill with mercury. So if you fill with mercury, this is nothing but mercury. we have filled with mercury. Listen. So now the levels of the mercury is equal. The difference of levels of mercury is 0. Now the pressure of this gas. So inside we trapped some gases. That gas may produce some pressure, that pressure only calculated 1 atmosphere pressure. Suppose I am going to add some more amount of mercury. So when you are increasing the amount of mercury, the gases may compress, the pressure will increase. So again the distance, now the distance is 0. Now the distance between the levels of mercury, so mercury levels, the difference, if you take 760 mm, the difference of levels of these levels of mercury, if it is 760 mm, then you can say that is 2 atmosphere pressure. The gas having 2 atmosphere pressure. Like we can measure based on addition of that mercury, we may calculate that. So this is only leads important measurement. What is that? Pressure is directly proportional to volume occupied by the gas. First, the gas may occupy more space, but the space decreases. So when the pressure increased, occupied gas volume is decreased. This is only called Boyle's law. So we can draw the formula for Boyle's law, that is nothing but volume inversely proportional with pressure. Volume inversely proportional with pressure. Usually the temperature, mass you should take constant. Here the temperature is constant, very important, as well as mass. Mass and temperature both constant condition. Now if you want to remove this proportionality, usually we will add some constant. So V is equal to K 1 by P. So here the K is called proportionality constant. Usually we will take constant value by removing proportional. So this proportionality constant K is equal to what? Volume into pressure, Vp. So by using this relation, we can calculate volume pressure relation of any gases. For example, with different volume, we may get different volumes. So how will you correlate the different volume with different conditions? Based on the condition, it will vary. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. What is the relation? If you take in the first condition, pressure is calculated P1, volume is calculated V1. The second condition P2 V2. So we can correlate with this constant, proportionality constant K. Now we have given a diagram with 1 by V and pressure in atmosphere, will get straight line structure. If you take volume versus pressure, volume is taken in the y-axis and pressure, we will get like curve structure. So 1 by V only giving straight line structure. From that we can able to understand the pressure is given, or the force on the walls created because of a volume decreased. If the volume decreases, here see, volume increases means what happened? Pressure may increased, right? So sorry, here volume inverse null, here you take it. When the volume is increased, pressure decreased. When the volume decreased, pressure increased. In the reverse, nothing but the same concept, right? So from that we can able to understand the pressure is due to the force of gases particle on the walls of container. So if you take any container, what is pressure? The particle inside the container will give some force to the walls of the container. That is only calculated as a pressure. Now the amount of gas compressed, suppose we are using piston. By using the piston, if you compress, what will happen? The force given to the walls will increase. So if you compress, for example 1 liter, if you taken initially, it may have some pressure 1 atmosphere, for example I am saying. In case if you compress these gases into half liter, what will happen? Pressure will increase into double, because the force on the wall will increase in the double. This is a relation, very important. This example they didn't give. Next, consequence of Boyle's law. By using Boyle's law, what are the things we can able to learn? The same thing we can apply with the density also. P1 when V1 is equal to P2 V2 under different conditions. Boyle's law. What is volume? Volume is nothing but density in the mass. So the overall density given by the mass. For first V1 we can take M1 D1, but mass will not change anything. So V1 V2 M, mass always constant. D2 density may be different. So applying the equation P1, instead of V1 we can apply M D1, P2 M D2. Now mass will cancel, so we will get P1 by T1 is equal to P2 divided by D2. From that we can easily understand the density of the gas directly proportional with the pressure. See here, pressure, density. If you bring it in the straight away, D1, P1, D1. So pressure directly proportional with the density. So this density pressure relation we can bring from the Boyle's law. Now for the understanding purpose, we have a problem. It is given with a different value, different condition. P1, how much is given? 1 atmosphere. Then V1, volume, that is given 1 liter decimeter cube. Then temperature always constant 298 Kelvin, right? What's the second condition? Pressure 2 atmosphere. Volume we have to find. Then pressure 3, how much we want to find? Volume 3, how much is given? 0.25 decimeter cube. Now in all the condition, same temperature, even though same temperature we may not be used in the relation, because PV is equal to constant P1 V1. So what's the relation between them? There is no relation with pressure, temperature. Only we want to use pressure volume. By using this relation we can find all the questions, right? So first, how do you find? We can take P1 V1 P2 V2 relation to find V1. Here V2, right? What is P1? 1 atmosphere. Then V1 1 decimeter cube is equal to P2 2 atmosphere into V2 we want to find. Then V2 is equal to 1 atmosphere 1 decimeter cube divided by 2 atmosphere. Atmosphere will cancel. 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5. So we will get 0.5 decimeter cube volume. 2 we have found. The same way, how you find pressure 3? We can use this relation. P2 V2 is equal to P3 V3. What is P2? 2 atmosphere. V2 we want to find is equal to P3. See, just now we have found, we can apply 0.5. 5 decimeter cube is equal to P3 we don't know. Then 2.5 decimeter cube. So P3 is equal to 2 atmosphere into 0.5 decimeter cube divided by 0.25 decimeter cube. Decimeter cube, and then 0.25 one times, two times. So 4 atmosphere we can find. So application of Boyle's law we have finished. Charles law we will see in the next video. Thank you.